everyone, and welcome to United Gamers video. Today we're doing a little podcast with the United Gamers crew. We're also joined by a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, my guy.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anstronaut559. These are some of my friends, and ready to kick it off. Let's do it.
All right, great. Today on the top on the topics we're gonna talk about some more mainstream stuff than we usually do. We're gonna be talking about some Marvel stuff. We're gonna be talking about some Star Wars stuff. Which would you guys rather talk about first, Marvel or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Let's talk about Star Wars since the May the 4th just happened and everything. I think that's better.
That's all you. I'm more
Yeah.
Marvel.
All right, so Star Wars, right? I think it goes without saying, of course, that this whole video is going to be a bunch of spoilers because Season 7 of Clone Wars just ended, and we're definitely talking about it.
It's been 2 days since the episode came out. You have plenty of time.
You had plenty of time to go watch it in those 2 days.
I watched
For
it
a
when it
true
came out.
Star Wars fan. Come
1
on.
o'clock in
You
the
have
morning.
So let's talk about Season 7. So that, I think, in terms of the arcs, right? There were 3 separate arcs in the whole season for the 4 episodes each. I would say the Ahsoka arc is probably my least favorite. Then you have them finding Echo, and then you have, the finale that leads into Order 66.
So the Bad Batch for me, it's pretty cool. They had a lot of like different long takes and stuff with some really nice action pieces, but overall, it wasn't. I'm not gonna say it's like A tier material. I'd say it's like a B tier material in terms of the rest of the entire series as a whole. The Ahsoka, I have a beef with that arc because it's very slow, and one whole episode is about them escaping the prison with the pipe, but then they just get back in prison. So it was just a waste of a half hour basically, and I just didn't really enjoy it. I thought it was interesting how sort of like a deconstruction for Ahsoka where she's talking with the sisters and they're basically telling her about their story, why they distrust the Jedi, and it's really interesting. So she is able to sort of, I guess, process things a little differently as well. But that was like the only good thing that I really saw.
Right, but then right as soon as she learns of the lessons of why the sisters don't like the Jedi, she goes right back to the Jedi, and they're like, "Yeah, can I get your help?"
Not as a Jedi,
Right,
as a
exactly,
citizen.
Exactly.
Like I feel like those whole 4 episodes were, you could have not watched them, and you wouldn't have missed anything.
Most
That's
definitely.
my problem.
Most definitely.
I think they just wanted to give Ahsoka more screen time because she's been gone.
That and
but,
the fact that these episodes were pre-made already before it was
Right.
canceled in 14,
Right.
so they just thought, let's just finish them and throw them out.
I mean, they were online, the unfinished episodes.
Yeah, they were like partially done. I mean,
Yeah.
and you say unfinished, but then they made that Netflix original season with Yoda, which I believe you can still watch on Disney Plus, or did they get rid of it?
No, I think you can still watch it because it's still owned by Disney. Technically,
Yeah.
they have the rights.
Right, if you look at because there's also a different way to watch it. You can watch it in the way it aired, or you could watch the season in the way chronologically. And if you look at it chronologically, all of that season with Yoda is all just the very last episodes. And then I believe all of season 7 happens at the end after that.
Happens at Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
Episode
right
3.
at the end of the Clone Wars. So it's those 12 episodes
Do you
are the
remember
last thing in the whole
Remember when
series.
Ahsoka was going to go to the Mandalores with Obi-Wan and Anakin when he got called to go save the Chancellor? That's the minute when Revenge of the Sith started.
No, yeah. That's because that's when she was with Maul on the ship. Order 66 started, and she had to get the chip out of Rex's head.
Yeah.
That was so
Which
sad.
contradicts the Rebels continuity, because Rex says in Rebels he took the chip out before the order was given.
Yeah.
But then you find
some...
out that he still had the chip when the order was given, and it was because of Ahsoka that he got it out.
There are some inconsistencies.
Which doesn't make sense, because how did the other 2 clones that were with Rex get their chips out if the order was already given also? It doesn't make sense to me.
I say we just leave the inconsistencies and call Rebels dog shit. I mean, that's...
Yeah. Dog with their tiny lightsabers.
Yeah, I know. It's just the wonkiest thing I've ever seen.
Well, I actually like the Ahsoka versus Vader fight, but that's just me.
Well, some of the fights are pretty good. It's just they feel off because the lightsabers...
It takes more than a fight to make up a series.
Yes, it does. But it's very interesting the way that they played with the storyline because in Legends books and novels, the entire fleet of the 501st took out their inhibitor chips before Order 66. I was kind of shocked, but at the same time, it was much more impacting to see all the other 501st clones that had painted their helmets to look like Ahsoka turn on her like that. It really hit hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean I agree. I don't really like the fact that they kind of shoehorned Darth Maul in at the end of the Clone Wars either. Like I get they had to have some type of plot device to get Ahsoka alone with him in order for her to be able to act out her way escaping Order 66. But she technically wasn't a Jedi. She was just using her lightsabers at the time to capture Darth Maul. She was just working with the Jedi. So it doesn't really make sense that the clones would target the Executor if she's technically not listed as a Jedi anymore.
This was already pointed out, though, by Rex in the last episode, remember? This was pointed out. He's like, she's not a Jedi. She's a citizen. But then they like took a second to think about it. And they were just like, no. Any Force wielder.
Well, yeah. Well, they also explain that in the comics, that the canon Disney comics, where Darth Vader hunts all Force users, not just Jedi. So that makes sense. But Order 66 specifically executes Jedis that are leading clones.
Right.
Specifically attacks Jedi, not Force wielders. Darth Vader is the one who goes out of his way to attack Force wielders.
You gotta understand,
so Order 66 kind of contradicts itself a little bit.
But you gotta understand, though, she still was a Jedi. She was their leading commander. So then...
Right, but she was only given command by their actual General Anakin. She was like...
But still...
I think it's more of a matter of the fact that she is a Force user that was fighting for the... well, she's technically not part of the Jedi. She defected from the Order.
Yeah, but she's also not really
she's
part
on
of
the
Republic
side.
Well, not really, though. She doesn't like the Chancellor.
Yes, but for this campaign, she is. So it does make a little bit of sense to me. I understand where you're coming from, though.
I have to say, though, I mean, of course, Clone Wars, the series, is probably my favorite Star Wars material. That goes without saying. I'd say my favorite arc in all of Clone Wars is when Obi-Wan has to disguise himself as that one bounty hunter, and he fakes his death, and he's with all the bounty hunters in that like box thing.
Oh, the box
and they go through like the box arena, and they go through the trials, and then at the end they're given the mission that kidnap the Chancellor. First off, I think Cad Bane is one of my favorite characters anyways. So giving him being able to have that much screen time is really cool. But then you also get a tap into Anakin's distrust for the Republic, because all the Jedis lied to him about Obi-Wan dying, and instead of letting him in on the plan. So it was very odd. But that's my favorite arc in all of Clone Wars, is the bounty hunter. I guess it's more or less the bounty hunter arc because it has all the bounty hunters and stuff in it. Except for that one lizard guy, I think his name is Boss or something.
Yeah, Boss.
But,
Bosk,
yeah, Boss. And then they also don't have either of the Fetts, Jango or Boba Fett.
Well, yeah, because Jango died.
Well, where does the series of Clone Wars? Because there's the movie Clone Wars, and then there's the Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yeah, Anakin.
Return of the Sith, whatever. And so where does Clone Wars fit between those two movies?
Okay, so that's the thing. The Clone Wars movie is actually like after the first like episode or two. The Hidden Enemy is the first episode that actually happens before.
No, I'm talking about the live action Clone Wars movie.
Oh, that happens after the Geonosis thing.
Yeah,
that happens after.
Oh, Attack of the Clones. Okay.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones.
Okay, yeah. So what's your question then?
He's talking about where does Clone Wars fit?
Where does that take place?
Where does Clone Wars fit in the whole
Clone
movie?
Wars series? Yeah.
It fits in between the Attack of the Clones and the Revenge of the Sith. It's basically in the middle.
Yeah. So that's the best way. The series happens right after Attack of the Clones.
Yes, the series happens because Anakin has longer hair. He doesn't have that little braid. Remember?
Right. I'd say there's probably few months, maybe a year difference between the end of Attack and the start of the Clone Wars, or the series at least. About around there, I would argue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate what they're trying to. I appreciate that Disney reinstated the series. Right, they didn't just sweep it under the rug like Clone Wars never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my problem with Disney there's so much legend material, right? And until Disney took over Star Wars, it was considered canon.
Yes.
But then now you have the Disney canon, which is basically just there to make all the characters and all the story less OP and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Almost
Yeah.
half of the Sith Lords that you find out about aren't canon anymore. Almost
Star
half of
Killer.
the
Star
yeah,
Killer's not
almost.
canon. He was one of the best.
Darth
Well,
Nihilus.
I don't think Starkiller was ever canon. I
No,
don't
he
think the
was.
games
Legends.
were canon.
He's Legends now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, all there are so many insane Sith. Like Darth Nihilus would literally devour planets just because he was hungry. Like
Right.
there's so much like that they could actually expand upon if they really wanted to take some of these characters and reinstate them,
Mhm.
I guess, in sort of to the new canon. They've done that. If you read the Solo novel, um the desk that Dryden Voss, the villain of the film, his desk is made from some of the trees from where the Sith Hollow. So that directly basically reinstates Exar Kun and his whole storyline back
Mhm.
into the canon. So they've
Right.
found ways to reinstate characters, but then my question is, why even take away the original canon? Then,
Right.
what's the point?
Because then you deprive the ability to make any of the Legends material into movie. Like imagine how
Right.
many top tier movies you could make with the Legend material. I mean, there's
Hmm.
some really good stuff in there.
Yeah. The whole crate regime, you could make a whole trilogy, about that.
You could have made a solo Darth Vader movie where he is in the process of capturing and killing Jedi.
Yep.
That would have been a really good
Yep.
movie or series of movies to make.
Hmm.
I mean, it's bad. It's bad enough we're not getting an Obi-Wan movie. That would have been nice.
And I really like the villain origin story route as well. They were talking about doing a Boba Fett movie. I don't know if Boba Fett would be the perfect villain to start with,
I don't think so.
but
Especially with the
Maul,
Mandalorian now, I feel
yeah,
like we
yeah,
don't need it.
exactly,
I don't feel. I
exactly,
feel like we don't need it.
right. But Maul would be amazing. I mean, I've read a couple of the books from his younger years, and those were
Hmm.
freaking badass, and that would be awesome. I would also love to see like the Rule of Two with Darth Bane and his apprentice Darth Zana, how that sort of came into effect because it impacts the
Hmm.
entire story with Palpatine and Vader
All
and
right.
any of Palpatine's apprentices during the Skywalker saga.
Hmm. So in terms of uh, if you had to give your not in any particular order, of course, but if you had to give your three favorite Star Wars movies, what would you say that they are?
Definitely number one's Empire, and then right behind it is going to be the original, A New Hope.
Uh huh.
Those two are just some of the effects don't obviously hold up today, but a lot of it actually kind of does, and the way that they were able to
Mm,
utilize practical effects to their advantage, and some of the darker landscapes. Obviously, a lot of the movies in space, so they can just use that darker landscape to make things seem more believable, and
right.
also save money as well in the meantime.
Hmm.
It's just so expertly crafted, and it's spawned this sort of world that we can just get lost in a lot of
Hmm.
the time. So those are definitely my top two. And Empire obviously has the greatest twist of all time, in my opinion, with the, fun fact. I don't know if you knew this already, but only like the three cameramen, George Lucas, um, and Mark Hamill and James Earl Jones knew that line was in Cloud City. The only people, the person that actually played Darth Vader had no clue that Vader was Luke's father. That's incredible in my opinion.
People didn't
So
know back then either.
when they had the original screening, when all the cast members saw the movie, nobody was expecting that. And that's pretty awesome. I love that.
Yeah. Personally, I never had that attachment to not Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back because I actually, when I was younger and I first watched the Star Wars films, I actually watched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I
Okay,
never
right,
got
right,
that. I never got that. Oh wow, he's his father thing because I already knew that.
right, right.
So I never got that. Oh yeah, Empire Strikes Back's top movie because of the twist. And I also say this: I think it takes more than a twist to make a movie
Oh
number
yeah,
one for me.
no doubt, no doubt.
So
That's
so
just one of the
because
highlights.
I think it's mostly because of the order that I watched it. But I think Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie. Then, um, Return of the Jedi, and then Empire Strikes Back.
That's a respectable list. I have Revenge as my third favorite, and then Return as my fourth. So
Now I could probably interchange Empire Strikes Back with Rogue One, but for the sake of continuity, I'd probably go 3, 6, 5
it's not bad.
as my three favorites.
I respect that. Rogue One is extremely underrated, in my opinion. A lot of people, for some reason, just don't like it as much as the other ones. I think it's phenomenal
Yeah,
what it was able to
people
pull
do
off.
not like Revenge of the Sith.
Oh yeah,
They'll
yeah.
flag it for really bad acting and really bad character choices. I'm like, dude, come on, dude. It looks so good. Early
Yeah.
CGI, you gotta give it a break. Some of the acting's whatever, but I think the movie's so good.
It,
Order
it's yeah.
66,
Unlimited
it's
power.
unlimited power. I have the high ground.
The best
It
lines in Star
gives you
Wars.
the
It's
first
cheesy, though.
canonical seeing of Darth Vader, and
You
that's
ever
worth
hear the
something, I think.
tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Darth Plagueis the Wise.
I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you.
But yeah, those are my three. What would you say your three are, Diego?
Shoot.
Mm.
I feel like I'm gonna get judged just because I don't know that much compared to all of you guys.
Speak
Hey man, I
wisely.
mean, as long as Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi isn't on there, we shouldn't have any problem.
And the
Mm,
holiday special.
Oh
the
yeah,
holiday special.
I think you mean we can't even rank the holiday special. It's that good.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's
I'll
so
agree
good
with
we
that.
can't rank it.
Okay. Okay.
Mm, well, I'm not gonna rank them to like where
Yeah,
most
no
favorite and least favorite.
particular
I'm just saying
order,
the ones
just
my
like your
favorite. Yeah.
just your top three.
Uh, mine would be probably Attack of the Clones.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, was it no? Was it A New Hope? I think it was that one. It's called A New Hope, right?
The technically
It was
first,
the one.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then it was actually Rogue One.
See, I appreciate your Rogue One,
Mm-hmm.
and A New Hope I could have probably guessed because a lot of people's is A New Hope is one of the best ones. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick your brain for Attack of the Clones just because I kind of have to.
Yeah. I figured.
Attack of the Clones and the Phantom Menace are intertwined for each being either the worst or the second worst Star Wars movie.
Really?
Well, that's
Nice.
debatable with
Out
the
of the six,
out of the
Oh.
original six.
yes.
Oh, I don't know.
'Cause
I
Last
think
Jedi-
Phantom So why is it that you like Attack of the Clones so much? Is it that one scene where you have all the Jedis and all the droids in that stadium?
Yeah, it's pretty predictable.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it the secret love between
No,
Anakin?
no, no, no,
Oh
no,
no,
yeah,
no, it's the fight.
I don't
Yeah.
like sand. It's coarse, rough, irritating, and it gets everywhere.
I
Hello there.
appreciate it. I mean, of course, I'm gonna be real with you. Attack of the Clone Wars is kind of ass, but if you like it, then kudos to you. I mean, it
It's-
takes a lot of balls to say that's one of your favorite ones, so I respect
Well,
it.
I mean, I'm not too like picky on the whole Star Wars thing compared to like
Mhm.
a lot of other people.
What do you think, Jason? What are your top three?
Well, I'll probably say not Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Rogue
Uh-huh.
One, and Return of the Jedi.
So okay, so you and me are pretty even on our
Yeah.
things. So you
I
don't
mean,
you don't
I
like
didn't enjoy
Empire
the
Strikes
last-
Back that much?
Huh?
You don't like Empire Strikes Back that much?
No, I do. I'm just saying it's just tough. I mean, my opinion. This is just all opinion based.
Right. No, of course.
I don't. You see, Rise of Skywalker. I could have enjoyed it better, but I got the movie spoiled for me, so I couldn't
Uh-huh.
really enjoy the plots and the twists and whatnot. So I couldn't really
Ray
enjoy.
should have died.
I agree. I think Rey should have died,
Yes.
and then we should have had Solo as the last Jedi because he was originally supposed to be a Jedi before he was corrupted by the dark. Well, you know, um, so yeah, Rise of Skywalker. It should have been Solo because it would have made more sense because he's technically a Skywalker.
I don't want to have an opinion on this just because I just didn't enjoy it because it was already spoiled. The main plot was spoiled. Everything just about the movie was just spoiled, so I couldn't
Well,
enjoy it.
Yeah, he had
My
the
biggest
worst.
beef with The Rise of Skywalker is The Last Jedi. I really think that if The Last Jedi was at least somewhat decent, we
I-
could have had a phenomenal conclusion.
I think they should have stripped the Last Jedi of his canon, made a new Last Jedi, so that way it can segue into a better Rise of Skywalker.
Or at the very least, just make it a quadrilogy for the sequels and
Make a third, make
have a
another
movie focus on developing the Palpatine plotline that he's returned, and also retconning everything bad that Ryan Johnson did, since you already did that anyways.
I
And
don't
then
get
the 10th movie is just like
why.
go through battle.
Why did they even switch directors? I don't get why they even let Ryan Johnson direct the Last Jedi. It didn't make any sense.
And there was no planning for this either. So
No,
basically, Ryan Johnson could have been fine because a lot of his other movies are actually really good, but there was no planning between J.J. Abrams, Ryan Johnson, and whoever was originally going to direct Episode 9. There was no like sitting down and discussing, fleshing out all these characters beforehand. So they really had no idea what they're going to do.
So Last Jedi has so many problems. One, there's the scene where Finn is about to sacrifice himself, right? His character arc is over. He's completely switched over, and he's about to sacrifice himself so everyone can escape. And then that Asian bitch comes out of nowhere and prevents him from ending his character arc. And she's like, "No, you have to live." And he's like, "What?"
It's not about
What?
killing what we hate. It's about saving what we love. Meanwhile, the freaking ion cannon takes out a bunch of resistance fighters. I mean, come on, lady. Let's get it together here.
Right.
He doesn't
and
even
then
like you
there's the-
anyways. He likes Rey.
And then there's this right, he likes Rey. And then there's this scene where Luke comes, right? Luke Skywalker comes, and he's the Force Ghost projection. And I honestly didn't know he was a Force Ghost until after they were done shooting. And I'm like, yeah, there's something going on here. That's definitely not him. Because he couldn't have possibly dodged all that, right?
Yeah.
And then he's fighting with Ben. Oh, not Ben. He's
Kylo.
fighting with Kylo. And then I don't get how Kylo couldn't sense right away that it was a Force Ghost and not actually freaking Luke Skywalker. Because I feel like Luke Skywalker produces so much Force power that you would have figured it out a mile away that it's not him.
Almost like his shine in a Doctor
Isn't
Strange.
Luke Skywalker go down as the strongest Force user ever? Isn't that his whole stick? Is that he's so powerful? Right, so strongest light side user ever, right?
Yeah.
But somehow Kylo isn't able to freaking sense that it's not him? I mean, come on. Especially if the Force projection is killing Skywalker.
Well,
I mean, it's so stupid.
They'll just use some plot armor that is like, oh, he used another ability at the same time that made him undetectable.
Right.
I mean, you know, like,
and then the fact that projection kills him at the end is so stupid too. He died alone on that island on that rock, and first off, no one even acknowledges the fact that he died either.
Yeah.
No one knows that he just vanished and died.
Right.
So he just died alone, and no one knows.
They sensed it.
No, they don't even. No one says anything that whole rest of the movie that he died.
They just hug on the Millennium Falcon, even though there's like 12 of them left. Like, come on now.
It's and then there's the pink hair girl who doesn't freaking tell Poe the plan or anyone the plan.
Worst
so he
leader.
just so he just assumes that she's trying to betray them all. Why didn't she just tell them what she was doing? Exactly. And then also light speed doesn't freaking work like that, okay? Hyper
Exactly. Thank you.
Through the
and
that's not how it works.
They retcon that plot hole as well in episode 9 when Mary Brandy Buck from Lord of the Rings says we should pull some Holdo maneuvers, do some real damage, and then Poe's like, "That was a 1 in a million chance. You can't do that." Like, thank you, gosh,
Right,
shouldn't have even
because
existed.
hyper. Oh gosh, it doesn't. You don't actually physically exist when you use it.
Right,
You
your
go
photonic
into
energy.
that alternate dimension area, and then you basically teleport to where you're
Exactly.
trying to get out of light speed from. You aren't just actually there. If that was the case, do you know how many ships would have hit asteroids and stuff going?
Right, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
Or
So the
run
fact that
through
she did that
planets.
and cut through a whole freaking they're not called destroyers. It was called something else.
Star
They're like
Killers.
Dreadnought.
dreadnought,
Oh,
and it goes
Dreadnought.
through the whole dreadnought. And not only does it destroy the dreadnought, it destroys like the mile of ships around it too,
Yeah,
which also
yeah.
doesn't really make any sense.
The sonic
And
boom, man.
her whole plan shouldn't have worked. Basically, what should have happened is those ships were getting away, and if she actually tried to use the speed, she actually would have just teleported out of there and saved herself. That's what actually should have happened, technically.
Exactly.
Maybe
but
what
you do
I
have
like
to
to
feel
think
bad.
that's what she was trying to do. She actually was trying to betray everyone and save herself, but then that 1 in a million chance happened, and she actually went through the dreadnought.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be so funny. But you do have to feel bad for the depressed, socially awkward, purple-haired social justice warrior that's trying to.
Yeah,
I can't even finish.
that movie was that movie's rough. I like The Force Awakens, right? It's not my favorite, but you know what?
Right.
For what it is, I appreciate it. Except
Mhm.
that it's the exact same plot as A New Hope. But
Right.
whatever. So I like that. And then, Last Jedi happens and you're like, ew, that's freaking nasty. And then Rise of Skywalker comes and it doesn't even redeem it. J.J. Abrams tried so hard and it just didn't pan out for him, and I feel bad because Rise of the Skywalker got so much bad hate from fans, and it's not even his fault. It's it's the Last Jedi's fault,
Right.
and he didn't even direct that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a
What
shame.
could have been? What could have been?
But on the bright side, the Clone Wars.
What could have
You
been?
guys,
Bit of
Star Wars was rough, but it's not Abrams' fault. It's just Disney made some weird directing choices, is all.
Well, what do you think about the news that Taika Waititi's getting his own movie now?
What'd you say?
Taika Waititi has been given the reins for his own Star Wars movie. What are your thoughts on that?
Do we know what movie it's gonna be?
We have no clue anything about it.
So we know it's not an Obi-Wan movie because they are doing the series instead.
Right.
It's not a Jango or Boba Fett movie because we have Mandalorian, and I feel like we don't need two Mandalorian things going on. So who else would get a solo series? I mean,
the problem I have with that is I don't know what he would do because he seems to be more, at least to me, more of like the comedic director who likes to, is really creative with the comedic timing and.
it's probably it's a Jar Jar Binks movie. Or it's a Jar Jar Binks movie.
That'd be so fun. But if he does, stray away from that realm of his expertise, that would be really interesting, and it might actually sort of give him more job openings if he is able to pull something off, more of like the depressing story or whatnot.
In all seriousness, I predict that it will either be a Legends movie, so it won't be canon at all, or it'll be a series. It'll be a movie around, because I don't think it's gonna be a series. I think it's gonna be a standalone movie.
Right.
Or it could also be a sequel to the Solo movie.
Okay.
So I think it's either gonna be a separate movie from the Legends. It'll be a standalone, or it'll be a sequel to the Solo movies.
I could see a sequel to Solo, because it is, it is Han Solo. He's more of a, I guess, funny scoundrel, so he could actually pull that off and make it.
Right, and there's a lot of time between the end of the end of Solo and A New Hope,
Right.
that we could fill.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's it for Star Wars.
Yeah, pretty much
Um,
fleshed it all out.
I think we can go ahead and segue ourselves into Marvel.
Hey, Taika Waititi, am I right? Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok
Maybe.
is really good.
It's hilarious. I
There's
love it.
nothing else I can say. I think that's the
It's one of
funniest Marvel movie.
it's one of the most rewatchable Marvel movies out there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy though. Those two are especially like the comedy
oh,
ones of
I'm
Marvel.
so ready for Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yep, yep.
Have they confirmed if Thor's gonna be with them?
It depends because
Um,
Thor: Love and Thunders comes out first, so I
Yeah,
am
but
not
you
sure.
see, I don't care about that movie. Um, the last time they tried to do some type of feminist BS, it was
oh yeah,
not
Jane
great.
Foster. Yeah, I forgot about that. The new Jane Foster. I mean, I don't
Bring it.
think it's gonna be horrible.
We'll
I hope
see. I
not, at
mean,
least.
Yeah,
Captain Marvel's a thing, guys.
Okay, but the Black
yeah.
Widow movie,
Now, the
that
Black
one
Widow
looks.
movie looks good. However, I'm probably not gonna watch it in theaters.
Well,
I'm
of
not
course not.
that hyped for it, right? I'll wait for it to come out
It should
on
have come
like
out 4 years earlier.
on the yeah. I think it
Hmm.
had to have came out earlier for this to be a phase. It's phase 4, right?
Yeah.
For this to be a
Hmm.
phase 4 movie, dude, that movie is coming out in the same phase as an R-rated a Doctor Strange movie that's supposed to be horror, have both Blade and Ghost Rider in it.
Bro, I can't
How the
wait.
heck is Black Widow supposed to be
Right.
set against that, you know? Well, they've already pushed back all the movies.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Yeah, I don't Onward.
I s-
Who
no one cares
cares?
about
Who
Onward.
cares?
It's only because Tom Holland and Chris Pratt are on there.
Yeah, that's a top like that was supposed to be like an A-list movie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that bad, but like it's not my favorite.
it's not a Marvel.
It's not a Marvel movie. Um So Marvel Phase 4 is looking crazy, right? Now it's not confirmed, but I have heard that Keanu Reeves has been in
Hmm.
contact with Marvel since Phase 1 to play Ghost Rider.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yep, I've heard
I-
that.
First off, I'm happy to just have Keanu Reeves
The DC
Yeah.
universe.
in the MC universe.
Oh no,
But
not
to have him
DC.
play
MC. Oh,
to have him
Mm,
play
Ghost
Ghost
Rider.
I
Rider,
said DC.
I can
Yeah.
see it first off. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I love Ghost Rider. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters. I actually
What
think
about
the
Nicolas
first
Cage?
Even the
think
Nick Cage.
I think the first Ghost
Mm.
Rider movie wasn't as
Okay.
bad as people say it is.
It was.
But then you have that
Then the
horrible
second one.
sequel. Oh my gosh,
I actually
that
kind of liked
second
it.
movie sucks so much.
Well,
It's
Blue
so
Fire.
boring, so
Blue
boring.
Fire, yes.
Dude, Nick Cage is Ghost Rider for like 5 minutes of that whole movie.
Yeah, they don't give
It
him.
sucks so much.
But he was going on top of a building. He was riding. Remember in the first
No.
one?
Ugh.
That was cool.
Now- I really don't want them to do like a solo Ghost Rider movie. So I would actually really appreciate them if they actually did do that whole theory where it's the Doctor Strange movie that's coming out is reportedly going to be rated R and it's supposed to be a horror movie.
Yeah.
So it's going to focus on the darker elements of the NC universe, which there's a lot of.
oh yeah,
Blade,
like what?
Blade, we are getting Blade.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Mhm.
and that's
Mhm.
been told. We are getting Blade. I don't think it's going to be a solo movie. So I think he and Ghost Rider are going to be in the Doctor Strange movie, and it's going to focus on the demonic and darker parts of the MCU. And what better way to do that than with those two characters?
Right.
Whenever we can get Dark
Now-
Avengers.
The only other character I could think of that represents the darker part of the MCU would be like the Punisher. But I think
yes.
the Punisher would work better in like a Daredevil type of movie or teamed up with Spider-Man because I know Spider-Man has run-ins with Daredevil and Punisher all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it would be better for Peter Parker to work with Punisher because Spider-Man as he is now is still like a naive kid, right? So what
Mhm.
better way for him to learn of the realities of the world than with Punisher or Daredevil.
I mean, he already
Someone
got his
that,
identity spoiled to the whole world, so.
Right. So what? I mean, what else does he have to lose, really, at this point?
His best friend Ned.
Oh.
Dude, they never built that Death Star, dude. It's so
I know
sad.
they
No, they
destroyed
did.
it.
They
Hey,
did.
if you want to compete.
No, they rebuilt
Ned
it.
built it.
No, Ned built it.
Oh. I
While
swear they
waiting for
rebuilt it in
Peter.
the
All through his
Homecoming.
lonesome. That's so
No,
sad.
Ned built it, and then he saw Peter and he dropped it.
No, yeah,
And
but
then-
then I swear there was a point where they just rebuilt
Do
it.
you guys?
I don't
Do you guys
think
remember
so.
like that one guy
No.
from Ant-Man, the
I'll
one who
go
explains
find out.
everything? You guys
Oh.
Wait,
remember
what?
the one, the one guy in
Endgame?
Ant-Man who explains everything?
Yeah.
It's a side character. I forgot his name.
Oh, Michael Pena's character.
Yeah. Can you just explain
He's just
2020 to
smiling.
me? Oh, you want to know what happened in 2020? So. He just
Um,
explains everything.
I really like Ant-Man.
Underrated. Underrated.
I don't like Ant-Man and the Wasp nearly as much as Ant-Man, though.
I never watched Doctor Strange.
Really?
You
Yeah, I've
never
never
watched
seen it.
Doctor Strange?
I only seen one scene where it's like I came to bargain.
Bro, you better get on it and start watching Doctor Strange.
Come on.
Mhm.
That's probably... I mean, I was about to... When we get into the top, that's probably one of my favorites.
Alright.
Yeah.
I actually like Doctor
Wow.
Strange more than Infinity War and Endgame.
I don't know. Infinity War was kind of more hype. Not gonna lie.
Infinity
So-
War, yeah.
No,
Definitely.
In my
no,
opinion-
Endgame was way more hype than thinking about it.
Well,
Look at
yeah.
those movie long-
Doctor Strange is very formulaic in terms of its structure, like other Marvel movies. But in my opinion, it's still phenomenal because it expands on the entire mythology and all the colors and just.
I mean,
I don't
to
know,
be
it's-
fair,
Yes.
Cumberbatch is a fantastic actor.
Oh yes, yes.
I
Very
mean,
big
I
Cumberbatch.
couldn't see any other actor being Doctor Strange.
Except for maybe Keanu Reeves. I mean,
See, Keanu Reeves,
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves would also fit. However, I'm more happy with him gonna be Ghost Rider instead.
yeah.
I can
agree.
just see him.
More rugged.
I can just see
Oh
him
my
going on his
God, dude.
motorcycle. I can just see it already.
I hope we get a good amount of screen time of him being Ghost Rider, though.
Uh,
They
I mean,
do.
it's obviously gonna focus more on Doctor Strange. You know,
I know,
Ghost
but,
Rider
like-
and Blade are gonna be, I would hope, in it,
Can
of course.
Ghost Rider?
You
can,
can't just show.
Can Ghost Rider just be John Wick? Just him coming to the to
I mean,
Just
Ghost-
transforms into
FC?
John Wick.
We're gonna see Ghost Rider murk a lot of people.
Hey! I actually thought of this because I watched the Infinity War and Endgame. Like the 5-year difference in between. You know how like Hawkeye becomes Ronin and starts like
Right.
fighting with gangbangers. What
Uh.
if John Wick is actually part of this universe
I hate
but
you,
during that
stop.
5-year period when everyone is freaking an assassin? That'd be so cool.
Right.
I am the law. It's
I mean,
terrible.
The thing
You
about
can't
the
give me
Doctor
what I
Strange
want.
movie is that the movie it's rated R, right? So they're gonna have so much free reign to do whatever they want.
Like
Mhm.
Deadpool.
And you know how
Yay, bring Deadpool in.
you know how violent like some of the comics and different series are. Like they could literally do
Right.
whatever they want.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I would if every Marvel movie could be rated R, which of course they're not because they have to get the money, and parents aren't gonna take their kids to go watch the movie if it's rated R.
Disney.
I mean, they saw Deadpool.
First off, Deadpool was really good.
Deadpool's
um,
great.
And then after Disney bought the full rights for
I love Ryan
Deadpool,
Reynolds.
didn't they also say they're not
They
gonna
keep
mess
him-
with it? They're
Yeah,
gonna keep
they
it R.
keep him rated R.
Right.
They're just gonna have the
Dude,
rated
imagine
R
a
Because
Disney.
that's his character. It's
A
really hard to do
PG-13
that to him.
Deadpool movie.
Come on.
Oh wait,
You
they
can't
did
do
that,
that.
right? Didn't they just remake
They-
But it was
Deadpool
a
2?
comedy. Yeah, no, that was it.
Didn't they just remake Deadpool 2 to make
They
it
just made it.
PG-13?
Yeah.
It didn't go very well. They had to cut
Did it
back-
not?
I mean, I don't think it did. I've never seen it.
They had
don't
to
think there was
censor
any
all of his
yeah, that's
swearing.
it.
They had to cut out all the blood and gore, which is like half the movie.
Watch Deadpool like break the third wall or the fourth wall and saying, "Man, I hate PG-13 ratings."
I love Ryan Reynolds, dude.
Oh, him playing Deadpool, perfect.
Like my favorite actor.
Top 10 characters that fit their roles. Number 1, Iron Man. Can't beat him.
I don't think Iron Man's gone for good. We're not getting any type
Yeah.
of
No, yeah, we're done.
someone else being Iron Man. There's no way.
Right.
Let
There's
just
no way
keep
they
Peter
could replace.
Parker.
Yeah.
But hey,
because-
but he's still a millionaire, Peter Parker now. He owns like Tony Stark's like company, or not really, but like
did Tony write off his
Will.
company to Peter Parker?
I mean, he did give him those glasses, which gave him control of basically everything.
Oh,
Of,
that's
like, the most
true,
powerful,
right?
like,
That's true.
weapon.
Yeah, it was a pair of glasses.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't that the whole plot of
And
the
Home
Spider-Man
Far From
movie
Home.
was the
Yeah.
glasses. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
wild. I didn't actually think he could technically take all of Tony Stark's assets with the glasses.
Yeah, he has that bleeding edge armor too. Come on.
I mean, let's
Oh,
be
that bleeding
honest.
edge armor
Peter
is so
Parker, he's
sweet.
too old
He
to.
tried to kill that Asian kid because took a picture of him.
Hey, let it go! And punches him.
No.
Yo, did you just punch him? He's like, no.
We also have to be aware that we're definitely getting X-Men are going into the MCU.
We're getting
I
in
don't know if it's- I
Fantastic Four.
I never
We're
seen
getting
Dark
Fantastic
Phoenix.
Four.
Is it
Come on.
good?
My theory is that the Fantastic Four are going to be housed in Tony Stark, the old Avengers Tower.
This is for surely gonna
Yes,
happen, or at least I
yes.
want it for surely.
That's
to happen.
supposed to be their new. Yeah, that's supposed to be their new Fantastic Four tower. Is the old
Right.
Avengers Tower?
Do you think they'll fit the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four during the 5-year time period when Thanos was?
The thing with the
I don't know. I mean, they haven't.
Mm.
They didn't show the Avengers Tower in that time skip, so they could have already moved in. But I feel like we would have heard something about them after
Is-
during Endgame.
But knowing
So-
Disney, they could just fit it in somehow. They'll find some way to fit it in.
Oh, Fantastic Four isn't the hard part. It's the X-Men that they're gonna have to try to figure out.
yeah,
how to
that's a
fit
hard.
in.
That's probably one.
Yeah.
Probably is.
Because they can't just be like, oh yeah, by the way, there's mutants. But,
Or
but they
can-
can't. But they can be like, oh, by the way, there's this group of 4 people. You know, that's way easier than being like,
Yeah.
there's this whole
Yeah.
race of mutants. Like, how do you
But
hide
at
the
the same
fact that there's
time-
that whole
So
race?
At the same time, looking back at a lot of the more recent comics as well, the mutants are very centered around their own stuff. They don't really, go about the outside world. So there is a way that they could do it. It's just, it's going to be really tough
is-
to pull it off.
This is my theory
Right.
that what they could do. You know that cosmic energy that they did the snap on. Once that
Right.
cosmic energy went around, mutating the humans, and they
So you're
started
saying
showing
the
up
X-Men
now.
Yeah, but that's not how it works because the X.
I know it doesn't work like that, but
literally
it's
takes
Disney. They can
place-
do anything they want.
Yeah, but then they would have to retcon like half the X-Men comics, and that wouldn't go very well.
and I
They can retcon Star Wars Legends, but they cannot go around retconning X-Men comics. That's ridiculous. Because
Yeah.
literally X-Men timeline takes place before like Nixon and stuff.
Yeah.
And World War II deal
Yeah.
time. So they can't just go into the comics and be like, no, actually, they just suddenly appeared in like 2020. You know, they
Right.
can't. It doesn't make sense.
They've like been around.
The
for, like,
only possible
centuries.
way they can do it to make sense is either to have them come from an alternate reality, or make them not technically part of the MCU but part of a different dimension, because they explained it that there are different
the
dimensions.
multiverse of madness.
The multiverse. So
Doctor
the X-Men,
Strange's movie.
the
will definitely, like,
X-Men
bring that
can
up.
and
Okay, but who
not
explained
be
the
in the
multiverse?
same.
Like, who mentioned it besides the Spider-Man movie?
The the Sorcerer Supreme before
Oh, I
before it
didn't
was Doctor Strange.
Well, I didn't see that
She
movie.
she explained it to the Hulk
Well, saying that
or
there's
Bruce
multiple-
Banner.
You know, in
Yeah, she
Endgame.
explained it to Bruce Banner.
Oh, I forgot. I thought you were talking about timelines.
Yeah.
No, she is.
Well,
But
she
she
basically
basically
knows it.
she basically just explained
That there's
all of
multiple-
multiverse theory. Yeah.
She pretty much confirmed it. Yeah.
So
And
there's
then
no way X-Men can just be shoehorned into the same universe.
So
that
what
we're in.
about
Right.
Captain America? How does that fit in?
What do you mean?
Remember at the
How
end
did? mhm.
how he went back in time? Peggy?
They explained it in that series with his wife that she mentions that she has a husband, but no one has ever seen him before. That's just him back in time.
Yeah.
It kind of just fits in. Everything's
Just-
explained. Like there's no loose ends. The only problem is I don't know how they're gonna fit X-Men into the same universe.
Well, maybe in like Phase 4 when Doctor Strange's movie comes out, there's gonna be like a lot of like like telling about how dimensions are gonna play a part in the next.
yeah,
movies,
but
maybe.
if Doctor Strange already has Blade and Ghost Rider, I really don't see them going into
Well,
X-Men
I don't.
territory
Well,
too.
obviously, but they're probably gonna like tease it a little bit here and there
Mhm.
in the film, but
Mhm.
they're not gonna like show it big.
Right. And we're not getting another Deadpool movie until the X-Men get their debut in the MCU either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fully
And
prepared for there not to be X-Men in the MCU. They could just be their own thing, which is fine because if Marvel's making it and not freaking Fox or Sony, it should be fine. But we'll
yeah,
see. I mean, if they figure out a way, then I'm gonna give them all the props. But as of right now, I don't see how they're gonna be able to just throw it in there and be like, "Yeah, the X-Men have always been here," because there's no way.
Right.
speaking of Fantastic Four, that
Uh,
what was it? When was the one they made with Michael B. Jordan and all them?
2016, 2015.
That
One of the
I was really
we don't talk about that.
I was so mad the fact that they did that bad with my favorite supervillain. I really love
Dude,
Doctor Doom.
he is in that movie for like 3 minutes. The last 3 minutes of the
Just
film, and then they just kill him, and you're like, "Oh,
Doctor Doom
okay."
is like one of my favorite villains in the whole Marvel universe.
Doctor Doom is so underrated. In every movie that he's in, he does nothing.
In the first one,
People don't
Yeah.
understand how powerful he is.
Right.
like, yeah.
He freaking kills Thanos, dude. That's how strong he is.
He
Well,
becomes a god in the comics,
right.
and
Well,
like literally with one
doesn't
hand
ev-
of.
Doesn't every character become
But
God at
like,
some point, though?
yeah, but like compared to
Cosmic
like
Spider-Man.
Doom's way, how his input, it's nice. It's just really
When
nice.
Spider-Man becomes a god.
The cosmic Spider-Man, bro.
Yep.
I love the Spider-Verse.
I love how they had Nick Cage in their Spider-Verse movie.
Play as the noir Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's that scene where Noir Spider-Man has that Rubik's cube and he can't see color, right? So he's
Yeah.
he's basically blindly trying to solve a Rubik's cube.
I don't know what this
And-
is, but
And he's
Purple.
like
I'll
he's
solve
like
it.
is this red? Or he says the color and he's like
Purple.
no, dude. That's
my
He's like, "Is this
uncle,
purple?"
he's the Prowler. He's like, man, that's a pretty tough backstory, kid. It's a pretty hardcore
Unfortunate.
backstory. I
my
think that was the
my
line.
uncle got eaten.
He's the Prowler. That's a pretty hardcore backstory. I thought they
Noir
just
was
joke
definitely
around
worse.
with like continuity or whatever.
Bro,
Joke
Noir's
Remember when
uncle
all-
got eaten by the vulture.
Remember when
I
all the
know.
Remember when all the Spider-Men were ganging up on Morales and they kept pushing him to the ground? Bro, they were just
Come on,
bullying
what you
him.
gonna do?
They were just bullying him. Come on now.
Well, he needs to be
And
tough.
Ben Parker's like,
Do
hey,
you not
no,
know
stop,
what they
please."
go through? They get shot at, stabbed at, just basically a
Bro,
target.
one of them's a pig dog.
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham.
My name is Peter Porker.
And then when they
He has a
introduced like
freaking hammer.
2099
A
at the end,
hammer in his freaking costume. It pulls it out. Like
We
it's
are
nothing.
getting a Spider-Verse 2.
Yeah, it's coming
Yeah.
out next year.
I want to see Miguel
That's
O'Hara.
confirmed. We're getting 2099.
Who are you? Wait, you pointing at
Morales
me? No, I
is-
didn't point at you. You
Morales is
still-
probably still the main character.
most likely.
We're gonna get a Peter Parker, like a regular Peter Parker for sure.
We should get Scarlet Spider-Man.
Oh, besides the one that got married. Or that's going
Scarlet
with MJ?
Spider would be super cool.
Yeah.
See, I got dumped by Mary
What-
Jane, but
what
I took
other-
it like a
what-
champ.
What
Starts
other
crying in the
Spider-Man
bathroom.
are there?
Symbiote.
You got symbiote
Oh,
Spider-Man.
you could do
We could do
symbiote
symbiote.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Mm.
Speaking of
We-
symbiote,
We could probably do Silk as well.
Ah, yes, the Earth,
Oh,
the
the
1/6.
great-
Wait, what's
you
the
know,
Earth?
for-
The primate Earth, the one that like everyone's alive. It's just normal. Earth 616.
I have no idea.
I think it might.
But
It has 6 in it though. Remember?
Speaking of symbiote, the new Venom movie. Have you guys seen the trailer?
Let there be carnage.
Let there be carnage.
Dude, first off, we all knew Carnage was gonna be in the sequel.
Yeah.
No, it's not
yeah,
like they
yeah.
just put at
But
the end or
it
anything. But yeah,
looks so good.
he looks so goddamn
feel-
cool.
Although I
And
feel like they could have had the
Spider-Man?
name as Maximum Carnage.
Isn't
Yeah,
Venom,
something
isn't
like
it
that.
supposed to be like a team up movie with Venom and Spider-Man?
That'd be like
Because-
great because it'd follow comic.
Because he's been cited on the cast on the
When you look up like the cast for Venom 2.
you see him. So
But how does that fit into the timeline? Where does this fit in?
it's not canon.
Oh, they're just gonna do
yeah,
that.
well, because it's a
It's not
an
MCU.
association.
Yeah, it's a pure Sony movie.
Remember how
Spin-off.
excited the movies we got when we saw Spider-Man's a Menace, the original J. Jonah Jameson?
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, he's
That was
back.
amazing.
People don't like
Mike,
the
thank you.
new Spider-Man trilogy because he's not like the regular Spider-Man, right? He's not
Tobey
Um,
Maguire, Andrew
yeah, he's not.
Garfield.
Yeah, he's not a
Well, it does
reporter.
fit his comic though. That's the
It
thing.
does fit.
In the beginning, he literally was what he is now, a kid in high school.
Right.
Who's
I mean,
been
And
targeted by everyone in New York?
technically he's in college now, but whatever.
Well, I
No,
mean,
technically
yeah, I
he's
guess.
targeted by everyone that hates him. But that's just me.
Because he was a freshman in Homecoming, and then in the second movie,
When he came back to life,
well, sorry,
he's still a
there's
freshman.
He's still
so there's the whole year of Homecoming, and then there's the 5-year time skip. So when he comes back, he would be either a freshman or a sophomore in college. Because when he comes back, he meets Ned in this new school that they're in. So that means they have to be in college because there's no way that they're both still in high school after 5 years.
Peter don't need college.
I
It's
mean,
weird. But he doesn't even need
Yeah.
high
It's
school.
not how
High
it
school,
is.
he already got a degree.
That's why it makes sense that he would skip high school, and that's why they're in college.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
technically, he doesn't need college. You see how smart he is?
Including the fact that he has like all of Tony's, like
Technology,
Technology.
his assets.
he can build like his own company like what he did in the comic.
Oh, that's true. And then make
A
silk.
little. This
I
is
wouldn't
a
mind
little
that.
off topic, but there was this death battle with War Machine
Oh my
and
goodness.
and
Hmm.
Genos, and War Machine beat Geno.
That
and
no.
that's so stupid to me. How the heck? War Machine has basic missiles and stuff, right? And those lasers.
Yeah.
Dude, Genos can blow up half a mountain if he wanted to.
Yeah, we know what War Machine can do. That Genos
What?
can't drop a nuke.
You know what Genos can do that War Machine can't?
What?
Machine gun blow.
Walk without assistance.
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
Called him a vegetable.
All right. That was a good one.
He's a vegetable with
But-ups.
arms.
It's terrible.
Well,
No
there's
leg
one thing
game.
there's one thing I definitely want to see in Phase 4 when they bring Fantastic Four is definitely Spider-Man coming in with them.
Fantastic Five.
The Future Foundation is when he joins them because I think it's Johnny that dies, so Spider-Man replaces them, and they become like.
I don't see that. I feel like if they're gonna introduce the
Well, obviously
Fantastic
not,
Four,
but,
they're
like-
just gonna have the four.
They should have.
The four. Well,
I mean, there
maybe in a
is,
sequel if
There is a timeline where most of the original Avengers die, and then there's this protocol where Tony has his computer call out new Avengers, and in the new Avengers that it's titled, it's Wolverine, the Thing,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, and I can't. There's like 2 other people.
The Red Hulk, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. It is the Red Hulk, and then there's one more character. It might be
I know what series you're talking about. It's not a little cartoon series.
It might have been a Winter Soldier. I can't remember.
I'm gonna
No,
look
I
at
think
it.
it was a Winter Soldier.
I see. Well, what the hell? I don't think this. Is this it? No.
Oh no, Luke Cage. Luke Cage was there in Iron
It shows Luke
Oh, it
Cage,
is- it
Captain
is Luke
Marvel,
It is Luke Cage.
or Miss Marvel.
I'm so
It
confused.
shows
There's so many
the
Marvels
Thing,
out
Luke
there.
Cage, Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel's cooler.
If it doesn't have the Wolverine, it's not the right one.
No, it's Wolverine. It's
Oh,
Wolverine,
Wolverine
Thing,
is
Luke
there.
Cage, Spider-Man, and Miss Marvel.
No, that's exactly it. Yeah, it's the Thing, Luke Cage, Miss Marvel,
Iron Fist.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, and Wolverine. That is the new Avengers,
Yeah.
technically. It's very odd, but it works.
This is a little bit more like Braun than Brain, but yeah.
It kind of seems like Miss Marvel is just there to meet a quota, though.
Yeah, I mean, she is kind of like a.
Now, if they made this into a movie, I don't think Miss Marvel or Wolverine would be there. I would think it would probably be Winter Soldier
Falcon.
and Falcon. Yeah, probably.
You mean Captain America?
Well,
Hey, man,
I guess technically the new Captain America.
Well, yeah.
Well, yes, but
Alright,
actually,
so-
yes.
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon.
He
I think
flies
to
and
end
throws
this
a
off,
shield.
we're just gonna give our top 3 Marvel movies. They don't have to be MCU, and they don't have to be in order. Just your top 3. We'll do a tier list another time because I know that's gonna be a rough video.
Man, this is gonna be tough.
Let's go ahead.
I think I got mine.
Oh,
I'll start
Yeah.
it.
All right. What you got, Diego?
All right. So my top three would be Captain America: Civil War,
All right.
Iron Man, the first one, 2000
Okay.
the 2008 one, and then this isn't the MCU, but it would probably be Spider-Man 2.
Tom Maguire or Andrew
Yeah, Tobey
Garfield?
Maguire,
Oh.
Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
But I'll give Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man 1 some credit because the swinging like they do in the movie is like probably the best cinematic swinging for like any other Spider-Man movie.
My favorite was at the ending.
Yeah, especially the ending where they help him like reach what was it,
Osborn Tower.
Oscorp?
Oscorp.
Yeah.
Let's say Osborn.
That part was like phenomenal. Like it was beautiful.
If I had to get my top three, it would probably be Howard the Duck,
I hate you.
Howard the Duck, and Howard
That
the
was-
Duck.
That was George Lucas's best. Changed my mind.
Oh, of course, yes. All three Howard the Duck movies are my favorite. Your turn, Jason.
Spider-Man, Black Panther,
Uh-huh.
and what was the other one?
I believe it was Captain Marvel.
No, it was I'll probably go Captain America, Civil War.
All seriousness aside, though, I'm gonna be serious for a second.
I am serious. That's
No, I'm gonna be serious. My top, of course, Howard the Duck isn't my top three. Probably Logan,
Oh yeah.
Ragnarok,
I forgot
and
about
Doctor
Ragnarok.
Strange. Those are my three. Strange, Ragnarok, Logan. Top three Marvel movies.
Bro, my dad actually like shed
That's
a
a
tear
solid list.
watching Logan.
My
It's
parents,
a mo-
my parents went to go
Uh,
see Logan. I was so surprised because they never seen any Marvel movies.
It didn't
My
make
dad's
it didn't
favorite
make
character is Logan.
it didn't make me cry, but it definitely made me feel sad.
Yeah, because usually you see this berserk man killing everyone in the
Y-
movies.
you know what? You know what made me cry?
The ending.
Love You 3000.
Oh, I thought Marvel.
Oh,
Ah.
dude. Okay. I think my top three. This is so difficult. I love so many movies. Oh man. Okay. Logan is definitely in there.
Right.
I think. I think I'm gonna have to go with the original Spider-Man, the original Tobey Maguire,
Okay.
and Infinity War. I think those are
Really?
my top three. But it's such a close race. There are so many other good ones that I want to put in it. I think those are my
Yeah.
three favorites.
Yeah.
If I had
Infinity
the
War-
yeah.
Go ahead.
If I had to have a runner up for my three, it would probably be Deadpool.
Okay.
I think I could probably interchange Deadpool and what did I say? And
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Yeah, I could interchange those.
Yeah.
I respect
If I
that.
had to like change my non-MCU Spider-Man 2, it would probably be Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I grew up watching the whole trilogy of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but the
Yeah.
most rewatchable one for me was the first one, and so that one just growing up, having that the childhood that I have, and I watching that movie all the time. That's why it's in my top three. And then obviously Logan, just the mix of emotions, and you feel the desperation that he is in that situation. He's just having a rough time, and you totally feel for. And then obviously
Right.
Infinity War is the most insane thing that's ever happened in cinematic history. Just the idea of this 10-year long cinematic universe of so many different characters coming together to fight this common enemy is just incredible to me, and I think they pulled it almost perfectly.
Right, I agree. Yeah, I would probably say Infinity War is better than Endgame, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
Endgame definitely has obviously some better moments, but the movie as a whole, Infinity War is better.
All right, well, I think that's about all the time we have left for today. Next podcast, I'm gonna be honest, topics haven't been chosen yet, but we appreciate our friend Anstronaut for coming in with us.
Thanks for having me.
We're gonna have his YouTube channel linked not only in the description, but we'll also have him on the end screen links as well. If you guys enjoyed our content, you might enjoy his content. But I hope everyone had a great day. Thanks for checking us out. This was the United Gamers video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe share it. That'd be really cool. If you want to join the Discord, the link's also in the description below. But besides that, I hope you have a great day, and thanks for checking us out.